What's up, YouTube fans? Today we're going to take a look at the FansToys Phantasm, their version of a masterpiece Mirage. I challenge you to say FansToys Phantasm 5 times fast. So this was sent to me by Toy Dojo. I bought this from there. Thank you for sending this out. And I'm excited to look at this figure. It's the first Autobot car that we've gotten from FansToys, so that's kind of exciting. And there is some things to do out of box, so I did show in my unboxing, you do have to rotate the waist 180 degrees, so it'll be turned around. These panels here, you just have to fold those back. The arms will be rotated, you have to just rotate them so you get the elbows to the front. And then this panel here, you're going to want to lift up this little tab right here. That'll allow you to pull this rocket tab out. And then once you have that out, go ahead and lock that back down using this tab right here on the top. Then we can take the rocket, and the rocket has two little keyed tabs on it, so make sure you get those horizontal, not up and down. Those fit around a little notch here on this. If you don't get those right, it won't go on here, so make sure you get those on there. And now he is ready for action. Let's take a look at the G1 cartoon. FansToys went for a very, very tuned look here. The colors even they chose, this light blue, was designed to look like that cartoon image. So I know some people may not prefer that, but this guy is really going for that tuned look. Coming to the side here, pretty slim profile. He doesn't have a lot of kibble or anything hanging off. Here's the back, also pretty clean. I do have QC Pass 30. Seems like everybody's got this green QC stickers now after FansToys started using them. But overall, pretty cool colors. I like the metallic and the pearlescent colors they've chosen here. And the chrome on the missile, I do like it. Now, in the promo images and even FansToys guide video, this was a blue missile. So I'm not sure where along the process it changed, but it's obviously been changed to this chrome silver. I prefer the chrome. I think it actually looks nice. Let's go over his articulation. So the missile here can go up and down. It can go pretty far up, all the way up there, down to there, and it can rotate side to side. The head is on a rotating swivel, so you can rotate it basically all the way around. You can go up to there, down to there. If you want to get up straight on, you do have to lift the backpack off, and then you can put it back, but it does kind of hinder his upward head movement if it's in the way, or if it's folded up. The shoulder rotating around on a friction joint, out to the side on a friction joint. A little bit limited based on this panel, but pretty high. You have a rotation at the bicep. Single digit elbow gets you past 90 degrees. Not quite what you would get with a double joint, but almost. Rotation at the wrist. The hands can open up here, and just a single pin. Now these are the types of hands they've been using on the mini bots, so I'm kind of surprised they use them here, but they look very similar. Coming to the hands here, these panels here I did show during the unboxing. It comes folded in, and that's the look. Now some people might say, hey, I don't like the gap here, but I think that definitely looks better than this. And I don't really mind the gap. I can barely see. I barely notice it. It's a very, very small gap underneath the hand. So I prefer to have it open. But again, you have that option. If you wanted to, you could leave that panel down. You have a rotation at the waist on a ratchet. Nice and clicky. You have very little. You have an ab crunch, but it's only that much. Not a lot. So that's a little odd. You have hip skirts, and it actually moves with the legs. So I think, I mentioned this before, I think all FansToys and all third-party figures should do this from now on. Moves with the panel. If you go back, it does stop here. So they've built in another articulation into this joint. So if you hold that, you can see it's the hip joint that's moving backwards. So it goes up to there. You open up this hip skirt out to the side, all the way up to there. That's all on friction. Rotation at the thigh. Rotation at the knee. A I believe it's a single jointed knee, but it gets you well past 90 degrees, so you can get some nice articulation out of that. And when you're putting this knee, the hip back, just make sure you rotate this as well, the actual hip. Coming down to here, you have ankle tilts, a little bit limited there. And then forward, you have a toe tilt forward, but nothing backwards. As far as accessories, you get quite a few things here. So you get his blaster, of course, done in that same light blue paint. And this will go on the hand, just like all the other mini bots. It's got a tab on the back of the gun, not the side of the gun. So that'll just tab in, and he holds that nice and secure. Good looking gun overall. He also comes with alternate head here. It is on a mushroom peg, so it's a little weird, but if you open this up, you can kind of see how the mushroom peg is attached. So if you slide this back, and it is a tight fit, so you definitely want to give it a firm grip. Pull that back, put that one on, and there's the alternate head. Very, very minor difference, but you can see it's those side pieces here on his ears, I guess, that are a little less pronounced. I prefer this look, but it's nice that they gave you the choice there of either head. You also get an alternate face sculpt, so if you pull here on the top of the head, you can slide off that face. And then here's the other face. It's kind of a yelling face. I like when they give expressive faces like this for any figure, really. And then go ahead and take that, put that on there, and there you have him with the yelling face. I like that a lot, so I'm just going to leave that, but nice that you have the options there on the head. And for size comparison, there it is next to the Takara Tomy Blue Streak, Make Toys Jazz, and Transform Elements Optimus Prime. And looks really good, fits in perfectly. It actually looks like it's matched up with the Takara scale pretty well. But it will fit in your Masterpiece collection, of course. And for the comparison, I think most people want to see, there it is next to the Transform Element version of Mirage. And they're actually really similar in terms of some of the sculpting and design cues. But transformation, obviously very different. There's the back. They both clean up pretty nicely. We're going to do a full versus, so I don't want to spend too much time here other than just show you it and mention that they do seem rather similar. Alright, now let's get this guy transformed into his vehicle mode. It is a relatively straightforward transformation, but there's a couple of things to watch out for. We'll start with the arms, so fold this up, come to the outside here, fold that panel over, and then fold that in. Then rotate the arm so you have the screws facing this way. Open up this panel to allow you to accordion the arm in, and then close this panel down. We're going to take the hand and rotate it so you have the flat side facing the inside, because that's what's going to end up butting up against the vehicle mode. Right, so just something like that. So same on this side, I'll do a little faster this time. Open up this panel, fold that in, rotate so you have the screw on the outside, accordion this down, close that up, and rotate the hand so that you have the flat side on the inside. Right, now we'll take care of this chest piece here, so come to the back, open this up, and you can transform it with the missile. I'm going to show you how to do that, but I'm not actually going to do it. So rotate that in, and that's going to sit down like this. Come to the front here, lift up the arms, and fold this outwards. That'll allow you to unpeg the arms. Make sure you do that in that order, otherwise you'll have a little bit of trouble. And you might collide parts or scratch some paint. Right, then we're going to open this up once you have those arms down. And the wheels will start coming out, so you can fold these up and over. And those actually just tab in to the side of the front here. We're going to take the head, that's going to rotate 180 degrees to the back. Don't forget that step. And then we're going to take this whole piece here. This piece here is going to stay down. So this is going to come up, come down to the bottom here. We're going to open up this teeny tiny panel right here. That's going to come down all the way flat and tab into the bottom there. Right now we'll take the waist and rotate 180 degrees. So you get that to the back. That opens up the slot that's inside his butt plate. But it also limits you from opening this. So you kind of have to use the ab crunch to get it open just far enough. This is going to fold down. I'm going to show you how to do it, but I'm not actually going to do it because I don't want to. But you're going to fold this down. We have to shorten this, so pull down this tab. That'll allow you to push the missile in and then close that tab up. And now this can fit down into here. And then once you get it up like this, push this all the way down and it's going to just sit under his chin. So it should end up like this and that missile's in there. I'm not going to put it in there because I don't think it's a good idea to put that chrome piece in there. Because of those two complications, I just recommend taking this off. It's just the easier way to go. Make sure that's folded up. And now we can just rotate this down. It doesn't really need to fit in that hole. So like I mentioned, you can do a perfect transformation, but I am going to do it without it. So this is going to tab it at the top. Make sure you get that all the way in. And make sure this is flat, completely flat down onto the cockpit here. And then this is going to tab down onto the top. Right. Then we'll take care of the arms. So come to the arms here. These are going to come in and just tab back in to the sides. All right, next we'll work on the legs, and this is probably the more complex part of the transformation. So you just got to do it in the right sequence. So come to the outside here. You're going to open this panel up on a double hinge. Rotate the wheel around to the outside. This wheel is actually on a slider. It helps once you have it plugged in, but you are going to slide this out this way on this joint. It's a little bit not supported right now, so you got to do it later. I just wanted to mention that. All right, go ahead and open up this panel here on the knee, and then you're going to open up this panel here. You might need a spudger or something to get this one open. It's a little tough to get to, or you can just pull up here. That'll give you a head start on that. Once you do that, you can open up this. Make sure this is folded straight down. And you can get this all the way to the other side. And here's what you have left. You can fold that panel down, fold the foot, rotate that all the way around so this panel is actually rotating. And then you can lift that up and leave that panel up for now. Right. And come to the outside here. We do want this panel available as well. So there's a little tab here that we want folded out. That's going to end up going into the side of the wheel. All right, so this one's kind of ready. Let's work on the other one. Go a little faster this time. Open up this panel. Rotate the wheel. Flip this up. That'll allow you to get to this panel here. That releases all of this. Make sure you get this out before you lift this up. You don't want to do that because you'll scratch this up. Be very careful. Don't do what I just did. Rotate that up. Fold this down. Lift the foot a little bit. That'll allow you to rotate this whole panel inwards. And then you can lift that back up. And then we're going to tab this all together. And we need to rotate the legs in order to do that. And rotate the knee to the inside. So you have this knee joint. And then you're going to rotate the knee. So 90 degrees on each. Same on this one. Rotate it so you have the knee on the inside. And then rotate the knee. And now you should be able to put it together. So if you don't do that, you're not going to be able to tab these together. That's what brings them closer, is rotating those legs. Okay, so bring this down. And we can tab that together right here and here. All right, once we have this panel, once you have this panel together, you can take these arms, and these are going to come down, and basically going to fold in on this hinge right here. So fold that in. And this is why we have the flat side on the inside. And that should come all the way in and sit like that. All right, so same on this side. Accordion that down on this hinge. And that hinge can be kind of ornery, but get that all the way in and sit underneath and tab in like that. All right, last step here is to accordion this down. Make sure you have this all tabbed together. These panels have to be up. Don't leave them down because they'll collide with this. Right, and bring this all the way around. Make sure these are down as well. So the blue pieces that we folded out earlier are going to go into these wheels on both sides. We're going to take these panels here, and these are going to fit under, and then there's an over tab as well, so make sure you get both the over and the under. So it should be nice and smooth like that. Same on this side, get the under. And this can be a little tricky, but you got to get that to snap. And then come to the inside here, we're going to fold down these panels on both sides. Fold down these panels. Give this a little push. Those panels actually tab into the side, so give it a little push. Fold these panels down on the back. So there's 6 panels total. And then you can straighten this up. In the video, they had it all the way down like this. I don't think it looks good like that. I like it like this. But again, your toy, you can kind of do whatever you want. And then the last step I mentioned before, make sure you pull these wheels out ever so slightly. There's not a lot, but it does move out, so you can see. It's just a very subtle movement, that much. So. And there is Phantasm in his vehicle mode. It really is quite beautiful. You got that nice shiny paint. The white is kind of a pearlescent white, so it's not just flat white. It's kind of the color they put on the FT-10X figure. Really good looking. It does say side-tains instead of jai-tains, so they use the original. Nice rubber. They feel like slicks. Like honestly, they're like sticky rubber tires. They actually feel like slicks. You have a little fake seat thing there because that's the top of the rocket launcher. You got rear view mirrors, steering wheel, translucent windshield here, and then the roll bar. Nice metallic. I believe this is die cast. I can't tell, but metallic looking engine, and then the rear spoiler there. So overall, very, very nicely done. And for a size comparison, there it is next to Transform Element, Optimus Prime, and the FansToys version of Drag Strip. And I know there's people interested in how it scales with this, so I'm just going to move this out of the way for a second. And you can see it's about the same length. The drag strip is a little bit taller, smoky. Not only this with the driver, but just the car itself is a little bit taller. And it is much wider also. Now it does have 2 axles, so I'm kind of okay with it being bigger, but it definitely transforms into a much bigger robot than this guy. So it's okay for me. I'm okay with it being a bigger race car here, but there you go for comparisons. So final thoughts on the FansToys Phantasm. Let's start with the positives. I think this thing looks really good in both the robot mode and the vehicle mode. The paint and the color scheme, if you like the toon look, this is definitely nails that look. Overall, the accessories also work really well. The gun and the rocket launcher and the alternate faces, those all are kind of the bare minimum from it, but also good enough for me. I mean, they just work. I also think the articulation is just barely enough. I wish it was a little bit more, but you get the basics, you get what you need. But negatives-wise, there is a little bit of limitation, specifically the ankles. So this is about as wide as you can get the legs apart because of those ankles. It's tough to get him in a wider pose than this. Not a big deal, but I just wanted to mention it. The other thing is the transformation, the perfect transformation with the rocket going inside. I think it's a mistake because people are probably going to break it going back from vehicle mode to the robot mode, because you have to remember not to rotate the waist with that in there. And you have to remember to pull it upwards before you flip the back out, right? It's got a double hinge and you got to pull it up on that hinge. So I think you're better off just not transforming it. You have the option to not to do it. Why not take it and be safe with your figure? So that's my recommendation. But that's really it for negatives. I really like this figure. I do recommend it. It's a great masterpiece version of Mirage. We will be doing the verses with the Transform Element Mirage, so stay tuned for that. That's it for this review. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.